Welcome back to the channel. My name is Tronage, and today we're going to be talking about the Aurora 90 and its updates, because this is part 3 of my little series on the Aurora 90, and there were some things I wasn't happy with, and now I fixed them. So let's get started right away. First thing was, I mentioned I wasn't happy with the way I had my antenna mounted, and I've resolved that. I've created this 3D printed part. I have some M3 screws that screw into the side to secure it, and you can see back here, that's where the antenna goes in through a little hole, goes through this antenna tube, and it's nice and secure. I have it facing straight out the back because as we fly we're going to be probably at like a 45-degree angle, so I get good reception. But if I crash and land on my back, I don't have to worry about it breaking or having any kind of issue. So I find that this works really well in this position. The other thing that I did, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but you can see I've maxed out my camera angle just to give myself a little bit more racing of a performance. I've tilted the top screw all the way back as far as it can go, and my bottom screw is forward as far as it can go, which will give me the biggest tilt for my camera angle, which I'm liking. At first it was a little bit weird to get used to, especially when landing, because you don't see as much of the ground as you'd like, but you get used to it, and I'm enjoying it because now I feel like I can actually fly a little faster, and I'm able to do tricks a little bit better, I think. And then the last thing that I did is, if you notice, my video transmitting antenna is very different now. I used to have a clover leaf on here, that's what came with it, but the problem was carbon fiber is electroconductive. It has a little coating on it that, you know, kind of insulates it. So with the antenna being in here, it would rub, and it eventually wore through and would start to contact the carbon fiber, which would then throw off my entire video transmission, because antennas touching conductive stuff is never good. I had to replace it, and replace it with something that was contained. So I found this. This is an RCDH True RC Axi UFL antenna. It's a little tiny bit pricey. It was like 23 bucks on Amazon, but it's well worth it. I get great reception now. I don't have to worry about it breaking because it's in this case. I mean, this is like, you know, it's not going to deform. The way I have the wire running, it's like resting on the frame, so it's not going to damage anything. The form factor, if you look from the side, the profile, it's like barely sticking out at all. I mean, this is amazing. And what I did is I took some shrink tubing I had and put it over it and shrink tubed it. So if you see like this extra layer, because when I got it, it looks like it's in a 3D printed case that's glued shut, and I didn't want to have an impact and have it separate, and shrink wrapped it so it would hold the whole thing together and give it another little layer of protection. And swapping it out was really easy. There's just 2 connectors on an antenna. There's the core connector, and then there's like the metal shielding on the outside. So all you had to do is you just go into here, and you'll see where the antenna connects. There's 2 spots. You desolder that and pull off your old antenna. Take your new antenna and basically copy what it was. You strip it out so you have a little piece of the core sticking out to solder where the core point is, and you have the metal shielding on the outside that you solder to the outside metal shielding. It's like 2 spots. You solder on, you solder off, and you're good. And then you just make sure you leave a little bit of wire, because otherwise it was too far forward, and I wanted to have it back a little bit and resting on the frame so it was more secure. But I've not had any problems. My video is amazing with this now, and I recommend if you're going to be flying with this frame, you might want to consider swapping out to that antenna, because the clover leaf will give you problems as it rubs on this carbon fiber edges. And this, I can't say enough good stuff about this antenna, because I've had some pretty bad crashes, no issues whatsoever. It's nice and protected. I mean, this thing was rock solid. Now it's like practically bulletproof, I'd say. Hey, hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, perhaps you'd like to subscribe. Check out the latest videos. I'm always posting new content. If you'd like, you could also become a supporter on my Patreon page. And while you're at it, here's some other videos that you might like. This one over here is the latest one I posted, and this one I think might interest you. Check them out. See ya.